Hello everyone, welcome to Piccadilly Stampin'. So let's see if I can see if we've gone live. It looks like I have, so say hello when you come in just so I know someone's there. And we'll get started. Today is just a really short video. It's my Piccadilly Parfait, and I don't have Bill here to read comments or questions to me when I go through it, so I will just look at them afterwards. But I've got really a cute card, so let me just pull up here. I do want to remind everyone that the last chance products for our mini catalog is going out. There's some deals up to 50% off. If you're interested, you want to place an order by the end of the month from my online store. You can find my online store if you're coming in here new on Facebook. It'll just be on the Shop Now button that is above on the link, or if you're watching me later on YouTube, it is going to be in the description section. So let me just pull this out. So today I got kind of a technique. It's one that most of us know, unless you're a brand new stamper. I'm going to be using the Flowers of Friendship. Now this does come with a flowers and leaves punch that you can use with it in a bundled set. If you buy them together, you do save 10%. Today I'm not going to be using the punch. I'm just going to be using the stamp set. I'm going to use little card, big thanks, and this great big floral image. And we're going to do some coloring with our watercolor pencils. I haven't used these in a while, and I thought I need to pull this out again and just do another demonstration. I'm going to be using the Bermuda Bay and the white. That comes in our original pack, and then we have the second assortment, and I've chosen the Granny Apple Green out of this one. So there are 2 packs of watercolor pencils that you can buy, which gives you a really actually brilliant little color palette if you get them both. Okay, we're going to be doing a little bit of embossing. I love heat embossing. It's one of my favorite techniques. I am going to be using a crumb cake card base, so we'll just give this a fold over. This is an A2 card, so it is 4.5 by 5.5, the base. And then I'm going to have a matte piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, but we're going to start off with another piece of crumb cake that is going to go, and normally I work back to forward, but this time I'm going to go the opposite direction because I'm going to use this. I want to emboss this on this top layer of crumb cake. So I have it here, and the way we're going to do this, let me move some stuff out of the way here. I'm going to take my embossing buddy, and you can get these at any stores, hobby stores, but just for a couple bucks. They're not too bad. And I want to put a good layer on here. I've also heard people saying that you can use cornstarch. I have not done that, however. So I'm going to recommend the little emboss buddy. Now I'm using Versamark ink. This is our watermark, and I'm going to be using our white emboss powder. I want to make sure I've got that good and inky. And I'm just going to stamp this over here on the left hand side. Oh, about like that. Give a good hard press. So you can see the watermarked image on the crumb cake already. And then I'm going to take the white emboss powder. I remember when I first learned to emboss, I thought this was the coolest thing ever, and I think sometimes we forget about how fun it is. So I just put some emboss powder on here and shook off the excess. This is the white, and I'm going to heat up my heat tool on the high setting. I'm going to try to do this for the camera. Coming up underneath so you can see the magic of it. I love it. See that? Perfect. I want to give that a minute to cool down. So while that's cooling down, I'll pull in a scrap of basic white, and I am going to use Bermuda Bay for my stamp pad, and that, I think it says little card, big thanks. Now I want to punch this out, so I'm going to use the Label Me Fancy punch, and this goes up and down, so I definitely want to either have it where my sentiment is on this edge when I go in, you understand what I'm saying, so that, or up and down if you have just a sliver and come from the top. So big card, little thanks. Again, that was the Label Me Fancy. And I like this because it has a punch out. So if you want to punch out any label afterwards and you want to have like a ribbon or a baker's twine, it has attached to this on both sides so that you can cut that out. And I'll show you here on this. It was too low, but you can see, so you can make a little for a ribbon to go through. Kind of pretty. So we'll set that aside. Now that this is cooled, and you want it to be cooled because right away after embossing ink is the powder is melted. If you touch it right away, it will smear. So these are the 3 colors that I had chose, and this is just fun. This is just a little extra. This is just a little fun. Now I want to lay down some heavy amounts of color, and I want to give down here at the bottom of the flower. So I'm just going to pull in some color here. And I'm pushing fairly hard. I mean, I'm laying down quite a bit of pigment. So these are my flowers. So already you can kind of see what it's doing. I may go up just a little bit more on this one. Don't worry about being super perfect. Then I'm going to come back with the white, and I'm going to go right on the top here. And it can overlap a bit. Filling that in. Isn't this pretty already? And you know, all these people with the adult coloring books and stuff, heck, you can have a hobby that is something you can share with everyone when you're done coloring. Isn't this fun? Now this is a blender pen, and I think that we sell 2 or 3 to a pack. These things are awesome. It is not water, but I don't know what it is in it. And it has like brush ends on here, and there's a little bit. So here's a secret with this. I'm going to use this to blend these colors, but you don't want to rub the cardstock to the point where you're going to get pilling. It will soak it, and then it will end up like pilling like a sweater. So I'm going to bring this color and I'm going to blend it right in. And I should have a scrap piece of paper, because then I'm going to blend that down. Okay. And I'm just taking off that extra color when I'm going up into that white, before I go up into that white. Okay, we're gonna let that just kind of mellow a little bit. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. This is with the Granny Apple Green. And I am actually laying down quite a bit of color here, because I want this to be a little vibrant on this background. Isn't this pretty? How many people have bought their watercolor pencils and haven't used them as often as they thought they would? This is just kind of a refresher. Actually, this is super relaxing, you guys. Now, this isn't something if you were doing a bunch of cards at one time, but it is something that's just kind of fun and relaxing. So then again, I'm going to bring in that white for the top part so it kind of all matches. And I think I may lay down a little bit more of this white than I did last time. I may even go right up on here to these corners where I didn't get it. There we go. 'Cause I really like that look. Isn't that kind of a cool look? Taking my blender pen again. I'm going to blend right into that white. And that color just pops so vibrant. I really, really like that. Make sure it's dry before you go over it again. But you get the idea. Isn't that just gorgeous? It just pops. Okay, so let's bring, where did I do with it? Here it is, our base and our matte piece back. So I'm going to go ahead and matte this at a 1/4 inch difference. I'll just use some of the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. This stuff holds very well, gives you a moment to just slide it into place. Okay, see, I love it with that color in the back. It just pulls it out. So now I'm going to go ahead and matte this right down to my card. Bermuda Bay is one of my favorite colors that Stampin' Up! Has. I love the intensity, and I just think it goes and pairs very nicely with the Granny Apple Green. Isn't this just adorable? Oh my gosh, seriously, I just love it. I think it's very striking so far, and I haven't even got the sentiment or anything on it. Okay, give that a minute. Okay, lovely. So let's take some dimensionals here and pop it up. my little trash bucket to keep those things from finding themselves all over. Let's see. I'm going to bring this down here. Right about so on the lower right hand side. And then I'm going to use the Pool Party, which coordinates very well with the Bermuda Bay. This is 3/8 inch sheer ribbon, and I'm going to do just a little bow. This has a little shimmer to it, this sheer ribbon, which I think is perfect for this. Okay, there we go. So we're going to just glue dot this down. Kind of off to the side here. Okay, and then let's do a little bit of embellishment, and I chose, because I seem to really gravitate to these lately. This is the Elegant Faceted Gems, and there's 3 different colors. As you can see, I've used quite a few. This one here has kind of a, maybe like an opalescent look to it, and I think with the white it really shows nicely. So I'm probably going to do a couple of these small ones up here. I try to do 3s, and then I'll do one of the larger ones right over here, so it pulls your focal point kind of all together. Isn't this adorable? It was really pretty simple. The embossing, I think, is probably the most work. The rest is just however you interpret it in your mind, but I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. Again, this stamp was called the Flowers of Friendship. It does come with a matching punch. If you buy the set together, you do save 10% off, and 2 sets of embossing petals or embossing pencils is what I used. The original watercolor, and then the second assortment pack of watercolor pencils. And this really has a very good representation of Stampin' Up! Colors in here. You can kind of mix and match and get the colors that you want. I love because they do blend into one another. So if you are interested, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can purchase these items through my online store. Again, if you need to find that, you can locate it in the description section if you're looking at this on YouTube later, or you can find it on Facebook under Piccadilly Stamping. It's the Shop Now button at the top. If you have any questions, go ahead and message me. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. But I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I hope all the fathers out there have a great Father's Day, and that you give this a shot. It's so much fun. So have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.